Okay, so as this is my first minisode chatting with you lot, imagine me as a John Travolta from Pulp Fiction gif wandering around, not really knowing where I am and what I'm doing. But I'm happy that we decided to give some time to Cape Fear, which is the one of the new big shows on Apple TV. I've been a fan of Apple TV for a while. I get why people don't give it a go in a world of so many streaming options, but I've liked a lot of her stuff, and I was keen to see this. I like the Scorsese movie. I like the original movie directed by someone I can't remember off the top of my head. Dave, do you remember who directed the first version?
Oh, yeah, it's
I'm sorry, I really threw that at you there.
you did. You did. It's
It's the
oh,
same guy who did Death Wish 4. I know that, and I don't know
is
his
it?
name.
It's
It's not J. Lee Thompson, isn't it?
That's it.
yes,
J.Lee
it is.
Is
It
Thompson.
it?
is J. Lee Thompson. Yeah, it is. As soon as you
Hey,
said it, I was like, yes, it is. Yeah.
get me. I just thought if anyone else was in the Death Wish series as director,
Yes,
it's
Jay,
probably
because he
J. Lee
also
Thompson.
did Guns of Navarone and 10 to Midnight. He did a bunch of Bronson movies towards the end. And Conquest of the Planet of the Apes. That's the one I was trying to remember his name off of.
Well, this is the tale of Max Cady. This time around, played by Javier Bardem, and he is an ex-convict who, in this first episode, he is being released because it turns out he was apparently wrongfully convicted, and that conviction was at the hands of prosecutor Tom Bowden, played by Patrick Wilson, but Cady was also being defended by Anna Bolden, who's Amy Adams. She and Patrick Wilson got together and got jiggy just after that trial. So the timing looks a bit suspicious then. The Bowdens have a son and a daughter, and they look to be in trouble when Katie starts prowling around in public. I like I like this from the advert. I was happy for us to pick this. While I wait 5 years to finally check out Euphoria and catch up with Craig and Tyler's chats. A big fan of Javier Bardem. Big fan of Amy Adams. You know, Patrick Wilson has been acceptable for me in some roles, but we struggle onwards as we try not to hold his portrayal of Ed Warren against him for the rest of his natural born life. So
Nope,
yeah,
that's happening. That's fucking happening.
I've got to say from the first episode, it feels like they're holding back a bit. I liked Bardem when he was. It was like he was almost being allowed to give a snarl, and then we're kind of reining him in. Whoever was at the helm of this was kind of like, no, we're not peaking too soon. We're going to let this build, and I appreciate that for the sake of the series, but it was a little bit frustrating. Although I know, obviously, 8, 9, 10 episodes, however long this is very different from one feature film. I also really like Amy Adams, so was pleased to see her in this, but she does have to keep doing the accent that her character has, and I don't think that's like the best thing she's ever been given to work with. So she's okay, but again, she's not at full power yet, and I wonder if she'll ever get there, if she has to keep kind of focusing on the accent. And they definitely gave Bardem like contact lenses or something, didn't they? Like they changed his eye color certainly a couple of scenes, hadn't they?
I think so.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did some stuff to change him up a bit.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
they
I
added
thought
a
it,
couple
glow.
scars and stuff too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was it's a decent start, but I'm kind of more. I'm happier at the thought of, well, there's a lot to come, and this has already set things up quite well. It's quite obvious, and that's good for people who are already familiar with the material anyway. But yeah, it's got everything into place quickly enough, and I have quite high hopes for what's further down the line.
Yeah, I'm.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No,
Carry
go.
on.
Okay. I'm interested in it so far, but it hasn't totally sold me yet. Uh, there's some odd choices, and I don't know if they're gonna pay off or if they didn't know how to rein in Javier Bardem. He has like 8 accents that he cycles through without warning, mid sentence, and that's a choice, but also one that's going to make things seem a little weirder when he's that overtly off his rocker immediately. I mean, it's one of those ones. I'm curious to see where they go. I wish the script was a little tighter, but the cast does really carry it. Bardem is, even if I question his choices so far, he is magnetic. Adams is always really good. Lily Collias, who plays their daughter Natalie. Uh, did you guys see the 2024 movie, The Good One, or just Good One?
No.
She's excellent in that. So, I'm hyped to see how well they use her. It's always great to see CCH Pounder in anything,
Yeah.
even if she's playing somebody who is so completely and totally tone deaf to signals being absolutely shouted at her by her partner. I mean, my God, I don't think I've seen a more like willfully ignorant character in anything in a long, long time. Jamie Hector, I know, pops up in it. Jamie Hector is always good. I don't remember if he popped up in the first episode. He played Marlowe on The Wire.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know he pops up later. So I'm excited for what's coming. I'm just not totally sold on what we've seen so far. Next week we'll cover both episodes 2 and 3 at the same time, and I think I'll have a better grasp on what I'm thinking then. But right now, like, it's a good cast in a really well shot series. Just the script's a little like, if they embrace it and go full like cheesy B thriller, I will be there for it. But if they're trying to, if they try to go a bit more serious with it, it's going to lose me quick. But so far, I'm excited to see where it goes, and I think the cast can really make this work.
This might be a slight delayed reaction, Dave, but I also saw a good one. I really liked it. So
Yeah,
no,
while you were talking, I was just double checking that was the film because
Yeah.
I didn't remember her, from that film, but I remembered the lead in that film being very good. I just didn't put 2 and 2 together that she was the same young actress.
Yep, that's her. The brother is Joe Anders, who's a nepo baby. That I didn't. He's the weak part so far. Not because he's a nepo baby. I didn't even realize that until sitting here reading right now who he is. So, you know. But I wasn't impressed with him in the episode. That's why I didn't mention him until now. But yeah, the Polius is excellent and good one. So I expect a solid performance.
yeah, pretty much on the same page as you guys. When this was on its way, when it was forthcoming, I hated the casting because it was a sort of casting where if you were to ask some basic AI, how would you cast a TV show of Cape Fear? This is how they would cast it. This is how an AI would cast it in the most obvious way possible. And that's what it felt like. It felt like the most obvious casting possible, so kind of boring. And no, I think that it is actually perfectly casted and not boring because of it. I think everyone slots in really, really well. Like, this is the most I've liked Patrick Wilson for a while. I know we haven't seen him do a lot, but he reeks of like Southern lawyer and possible like future senator. Like, you see the guy with like the Lacoste polo tucked into the chinos. You know who that character is. Like, the costume design's really good for all the characters because you really get a sense of who they are through the costumes. So I'm really impressed with Patrick Wilson. I really like Amy Adams. Amy Adams, you can tell that character's got there are a world of like sticky, sordid secrets under the surface which she's going to try and cover up, and they're going to get uncovered. I think she's going to do a really good job of that. And yeah, love Javier Bardem as Cady. I think I'm interested to see how he plays the part. He does a little bit of De Niro in this when he says, what he says, if I got royalties from your Hate Boy, I'd be as rich as sin. That was my favourite line, and he gave it a little bit of a De Niro in that line. I really love De Niro in the Scorsese movie. People say he's over the top, but Scorsese is making a very specific movie there, and De Niro's performance is a perfect fit for the movie that Scorsese's making. I think this feels like it has a bit of De Niro. It even has a little bit of Robert Mitchum, but it's going to be his own thing, and he's genuinely terrifying. Those piercing fucking eyes kind of gave me a bit of a shudder. You know, he can be a scary fucking dude. Yeah, I was happy to see Jamie Hector. I was happy to see CCH Pounder. Yeah, it's great looking, like great locations. The visuals are kind of nicely cinematic. There's some gnarly fucking gore in there, which I wasn't expecting, so I'm happy with that. As far as the story goes, I think the addition of a son to the family could lead to some interesting themes developing, because, you know, it's always been about Cady's obsession with a young daughter, whereas the way that Cady might manipulate a son could, you know, that could prove interesting. I'm interested to see how it all unfolds, and I also like the twist with Cady. It's the first time his character's ever been like released for a wrongful conviction. So it's the first time he's been able to, you know, be this close to the characters without there obviously is an immediate threat because this guy is cuckoo, but it puts him in a different position to the other two films, which I think is going to be interesting. Just Amy Adams' work as a wrongful conviction lawyer who kind of loves publicity is going to lead into some interesting stuff, I think. So, yeah, I like the first episode. Like, the escalation could be really fun. I mean, currently we're at escalation stage 1, which is just making people deeply fucking uncomfortable. But I can see, yeah, obviously Bardem's going to go a lot further than making people uncomfortable. And I'm interested to see it. So my reservations about the cast were completely unfounded. The only reservation I have now is that it might end up being too much of a straight remake of Scorsese's film, because, you know, from the first shots, it's clear that, you know, the writers and the director have Scorsese's film in mind a lot more than the original. Even with using parts of the score from Scorsese's film and just very similar parts for score, but, you know, you kind of want it to be its own thing, but it's obviously it's definitely taking a larger influence from Scorsese's film. We'll see. We'll see.
There was a lot of callbacks to the first one, also.
Yeah.
Cady's already smarter than De Niro's by far, so
yeah, sure.
That gives me hope.
I'd love De Niro's take, but yeah, his character is kind of
his character's brain damage. He's just he's pure physical violence in that one, which is all he needs to be for that setup. But he's not the operator that this version is so far,
and he's never even close to as terrifying as Robert Mitchum is. There's a scene in the first Cape Fear where he sits Gregory Peck down in the bar and explains how he punished his wife for leaving him while he was in prison, and it's just one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen in a film. So Bardem's got a lot to live up to, but, you know, it's Javier Bardem. So yeah, I will catch up with the next 2 episodes. Obviously, I won't talk to you about the next week, but I'll be watching. I'll be ready.
Awesome. Kevin, do you want to give him the business one more time?
Sure, yeah. You can email us at raidersofpodcast@gmail.com. General thoughts, film suggestions, or even what you think about Cape Fear at this time. We're on Instagram, Raiders_of_the_podcast. Like and subscribe, rate us everywhere you get podcasts. And there's a YouTube channel where these episodes and minisodes drop. And sometimes I'll be on there if I have something nice through my letterbox that is movie related and not just some flaming bag of dog poo from prankster kids as I become an old curmudgeon in the neighborhood.
Awesome. As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me, guys. We'll get our cape on next week.
Hey, see you guys.
Bye, counselor.